Welcome back to HKEX Voice, our podcast series featuring insights from senior executives and industry experts on Hong Kong's financial markets. My name is 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹liche from Corporate Communications, and I will be your host today. As the world's largest structured product market, Hong Kong continues to grow with new product issuances, expanding underlying assets, and increasing turnover. To stay aligned with the latest market developments, HKEX has recently published a consultation paper proposing enhancements to the listing framework for structured products. Today, we are pleased to welcome Martin Wong, Senior Vice President from HKEX's Markets Division, who joins us to discuss how we can further strengthen Hong Kong's product ecosystem and better support investors. Welcome, Martin.
Hello, welcome.
So, Martin, before we delve into the consultation, can you give us an overview of Hong Kong's structured products market?
So for Hong Kong structured product market, it has been a very, very strong year. We are, I think, 17-year consecutively number one most traded exchange in the world. Our average daily turnover have recently surpassed the 20 billion figures on a recent month. So that's very, very good. We are seeing very, very strong issuance supply from our product issuers, both in terms of this year. Some of the highlights include some of the IPO fast tracking of structured product, as well as eligibility of new underlying, including our Japanese underlying. So I think all in all, the momentum is very good, and we are working very hard to continue this momentum to diversify our product offering.
In our conversations before, we've talked about the four core propositions, right? So what is the value proposition for structured products to market participants?
So, I joined the exchange relatively recently, and one of the key questions that I've been asked the most is, what does structured product offer to our investors on our platform? And we kind of boil down to four core value proposition. The first one being diversification of investment choice. So, they have very different diversification, including Hong Kong underlying index or into even currency and some commodity. The second one being the capital efficiency. As we know, structured products tend to have leverage. So it offers all the investors who can trade it with a small fraction of capital while still benefit from both long and short directional market movement. The third one is it allows a lot of diversification of trading strategies, including high-frequency trading, including mean reversal, etc., etc. And the last one is being a risk management tool. We've seen recently with some of the names which has reached a new high, we actually seen the market response by buying more put warrants, so as a risk management tools. So these are the four core value proposition that I think structured product can offer to our investors.
Right. Thanks, Martin. And our structured products market has been very robust. Why is there a need to make the changes to the current framework?
The reason why we needed this consultation paper and change the rules is because the current framework has actually been in place for a long time. So we are very happy to see we're coming to this milestone. We are hoping that the scope of the change is not only on product design. In fact, some of it is including the issuer quality, because we want to make sure there is better investor protection for years to come. Some of it involve platform changes in order to achieve a better efficiency in terms of structured product issuance and trading. So with all these changes, we are not only hoping that it will benefit the structured product market, but we hope this become a catalyst for the greater HKEX ecosystem, so that the liquidity will improve and investors will have more product choice that they can diversify their investment on.
I understand you previously worked for structured products issuers before joining HKEX, right? So what way might the proposed changes help create a more vibrant structured product market in Hong Kong?
Yes, so I have the luxury of being in the industry over 2 decades, and this consultation is very important milestone to the industry. To more specifically, the new rules of lowering the minimum issue price for DW from 25 cents to 15 cents and to remove it completely for CBBC is going to greatly allow the issuers to have the flexibility to issue product which is suitable for retail investor demand from day one. And it's not just retail, and I think just the whole system. The second one that is worth highlighting is the change of ETF eligibility for structured product to AUM 1 billion. This will greatly reduce the threshold for ETF to become a structured product underlying, which will allow much easier for the industry to create an ecosystem around it. So this is really good news for both structured product issuers as well as ETFs asset managers. The third item that worth mentioning is the removal of prescriptive terms and replace it with product sheets. So in the past, a lot of the product developments were we need to consider the rules, which is very prescriptive, and we have to operate within the boundary, right? So by going into a product sheets, it actually allow a bit more flexibility in terms of future product development. But at the same time, while we are moving away, moving into a product sheets setup, it doesn't take away our investor protection.
That's a great segue to my next question, Martin, which is, while we at HKEX focus on promoting market development, we also need to uphold market quality as a regulator. So what are the proposals to safeguard market quality?
It is actually very important for us as an exchange to ensure that the issuers are financially strong to honor the products. So this part of the rules hasn't been really touched on in the past, and we are taking this opportunity to improve the issuer requirement so that investor protection is at the key of our future development. This includes increasing the issuer's NAV requirement and strengthening the ongoing obligation so that while our market continue to grow, our product and the issuer obligation, the issuer financial stability also maintain at a very high standard to support the growth of this market.
So while the proposals will enhance the framework's flexibility for issuers to launch new products, how will they also serve the interests of investors?
Well, the new rules hopefully will address, some of the core value proposition that I mentioned earlier. First of all, we are hoping that, by having more flexible way to issue product, structured product issuers will come up with more product choice, right? Including from underlying that I mentioned, like ETF, to the actual terms of the product. Be it the issue price, be it the entitlement ratio. So this will help the diversification of product choice to the investors. Secondly, I think by lowering the minimum issue price, structured product will be more fit for investor consideration from day one. And this is a great way to demonstrate the use of capital efficiency. The third one will be, as I mentioned, structured product issuers will be able to consider products where, under the current rules, they have a bit more limitation, including new underlyings and underlying that they may or may not want to try to issue product on. So this way, we're hoping that with the new rules, with the new terms of the product, investors can actually be creative and develop new trading strategies that we might not have seen under the current rules. So all of this will fit back into the core value proposition that we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast.
So Martin, I'm really looking forward to the new proposed rules, and it looks like it will lead to a more robust and diverse market. Meanwhile, how can investors learn more about structured products?
Yeah, I was going to say there is one more thing. We actually revamped the whole website section for structured product on our HKEX Markets webpage. So investors or any participant, you're welcome to visit our website. We have added a lot of interactive videos, education materials into the content. So whether you are new or experienced investors of structured product, you please do visit our new website so that you can gain a bit more knowledge and insight into the structured product trading.
Well, Martin, thank you for joining us on this episode. And a friendly reminder to our market participants to submit their comments before the consultation closes in November. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of HKEX Voice. Check out our other episodes on our social media channels. And for more information on HKEX and our markets, please visit our website at hkex.com.hk.